What's up, people? It's your man Urban Lover coming from your mama's basement, bringing a segment to you. This is going to have a lot of topics, only probably about 3 or 4 topics. You know, just basically just giving y'all some update. I know Dan the Laker fan and Late Show and the Art probably dropped some information on one of the topics I want to talk about. That topic, I'm not really going to dive too much into it, but just speak on my own personal opinion about it. I'm gonna get to that topic in a minute, but I want to give first I want to give honor. I'm gonna give honor and a shout out to Larry Nance and Jordan Clarkson. I'm happy for Larry Nance. I'm happy for Jordan Clarkson. This is actually more of a shout out to Magic Johnson, and I know I've been beating Magic Johnson up a lot. I'm still watching what he does, you know, based on the hand he was dealt. So I give him the benefit of the doubt to a degree. But I will say this. Magic Johnson, even though he might play harsh sometimes and this and that, because we know this is a business, he does care about the players that he traded. I know a lot of fans say, why you say that, Urban? Why you say that? Because if you think about it, if you look at D'Angelo Russell, first and foremost, he was given a hand that he had no choice. He couldn't really, in order to get superstars, you had to make some drastic moves. And yes, it wasn't going to sit well with the fan base, but he had to do it. Now, you look at Moss and you look at Luol Deng. Now, Luol Deng contract, nobody wants him, so they had no choice but to move Jordan and Larry to get, to open up another spot for opportunity to get 2 superstars this offseason. But before that, with D'Angelo Russell, if you think about it, now he stated D'Angelo Russell, he wasn't the leader that he was looking for, and D'Angelo Russell didn't really like counter that. When the media tried to get it to be a little war. A verbal war between D'Angelo and Magic. Instead, D'Angelo Russell waved it off. Now, what a lot of fans didn't realize is this: Magic Johnson sent them to a team that really needed a point guard, or just needed a backcourt period. So in reality, even though he didn't fit the Lakers, he said, "Listen, I'm gonna send you to a team that's basically can still utilize you." And he sent him to the Brooklyn Nets before when all them guys started coming about. Because remember, Lynn was constantly hurt. So it gave D'Angelo Russell an opportunity to actually flourish. So destiny is in his hand. He has the chance to actually still be a starter. But now he got to work for the minutes coming off the bench. Can't blame nobody but yourself. Now with Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance. Now I've been saying for so many videos that Jordan Clarkson need to get up out of the Lakers, because I feel like at the end of the day, he's like the odd man out. The fan base, a good portion of the fan base turned on him. I'm not going to say the front office. The front office ain't really turned on him, because I think if we had the opportunity to not having to trade him and we had, room for 2 superstars, he'll still be here. I don't think they would trade him or Larry Nance. But based on the fact they're trying to get superstars, they had no choice but to make that move in order to get these superstars. But what did Magic do, though? He didn't send him to a hole-in-the-wall team. He sent him to a contender. He sent him to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Larry Nance, he sent Larry Nance back home in front of his family to play in front of his family. Jordan Clarkson, he was mentored by Kobe. Now he went from Kobe to now LeBron. So this guy's going to get mentored by 2 legends. And what's the first thing LeBron told JC when he get there? Play your game. Just play your game. So it is much more. That's why I said earlier that I wanted Jordan Clarkson to leave, because he doesn't fit Lou Walton's system. He just doesn't. And that's what people fail to realize. He just don't fit that system, because the system is more of a motion offense type of system where the ball constantly moves. So in reality, any point guard who needs the ball 70-80% of the time not gonna really fit Lou Walton's system, because they gotta always get up. The ball always gotta keep moving. Because he wanted to play like how the Golden State Warriors is. The Golden State Warriors, they want every game to at least make 300 passes every game. So if Lou Walton is following that same structure, he's going to want 280 to 300 passes every game to make them fluent. So that's why Jordan Clarkson didn't fit the system. And I'm happy for Jordan Clarkson. Yeah, it hurts because he's no longer a Laker. But at the same time, this is the NBA. If you're a fan of the product of the NBA and you like individual players, you still can follow them. It doesn't mean that you stop being a Laker fan. Anybody that came up with that term of logic, of way of thinking, is retarded to me personally. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with being a fan of the team first and then following other players. I follow the best. Put it like this. And this is why I'm gonna make sure that other fans understand this is real hypocritical. Okay, you got certain fans that say, you're a faker or you're a bandwagon rider or this and that. So you telling me when the Lakers season is over, if they don't make the playoff and their season is over, you don't watch basketball no more? I was like that. I ain't be honest with y'all, because I wasn't really interested. I was just watching the Lakers. They were bad for the last couple of years. I watched Kobe, but after that, I wouldn't really watch the championship. I was like that, but I never beat nobody down to say that, hey, just because you watch another team, you're a bandwagon rider. I would never say that. Now, there are bandwagon riders, let's be real. But if you're a Lakers fan and after their season's over, you mean to tell me that you wouldn't go watch the the championships, the playoffs and all that? If you're a fan of basketball, you're gonna watch. It's just like college. You're gonna watch the sport because you're a fan of the sport. But you have a particular team that you love the most. There's nothing wrong with following other players or teams. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, when you play against a team, you're going to root for your team, though. But you can be a fan of the sport. But anyway, thank you, Magic, and thank you, Rob, for making that move to give Jordan Clarkson an opportunity to play for a contender. Because I feel, though, at the end of the day, he deserved much more than what the Lakers fan base was giving him. And now, under LeBron James is going to bring back, hopefully, that old Jordan Clarkson back. That Jordan Clarkson that was attacking the basket, taking lesser threes, taking them 2-point shots and all that. He's going to have fun in that system. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Larry Nance, man, going back home. So kudos to Magic and Pelinka for looking out for the young players, man. And even if you think about it, even with Julius Randle, who was the first person they would try and trade swap with Julius Randle? Noel from Dallas, where he's home, where Julius Randle is home to. So even though they were getting rid of him, they were trying to really look. They were all at the same time looking out for him. And like Jeannie Buss said, once a Laker, always a Laker, because you take that part of that Laker with you. And like Pelinka said, I'm gonna still root for them, but when we play them, I'm always gonna root for the Lakers, but I'm gonna still root for them. And that's my thing. So kudos to them, man. Like I said before, Magic Johnson, Pelinka, I have much respect for y'all just for that purpose alone. Because even though you were making moves to trade these guys, you still try to give them an opportunity to play in front of their hometowns or contender type team. Y'all didn't throw them in the wheels besides D'Angelo, but let's be honest. I mean, D'Angelo, he wanted to start. He wanted to be a starter, so they sent him to Brooklyn to a team that needed a backcourt. He just got to take it upon himself now to get those knees together and start showing the people that he belongs. Because Brooklyn, to be honest with you, Brooklyn is not a bad team. They just got hit with injuries too early, and they kind of went downward. Because at first, if you look at the beginning of the season, Brooklyn had, I think, like 8 or 9 wins. You know what I mean? It was like that right there in the pack. But then next thing, like I said, once they got hit with them injuries, they started falling apart. But, destiny is in the hand of the beholder. You got to take advantage of it and run with it. Now, my next topic is Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez came out and said that he want to play for the Lakers this offseason. He wanted to be re-signed by the Lakers. Now, here's my thing about Brook Lopez. I think it was Kevin Davis. And shout out to Kevin Davis on Twitter. He said to me, hey, I'm Urban. How you feel about, I'll make sure I think it was Kevin Davis. I'm not mistaken. I believe it was Kevin Davis. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I believe it was Kevin Davis. I was just trying to make sure. It might have been Lakers Uncut. Yeah, it was Lakers Uncut. Shout out to Lakers Uncut. My bad. Now, Lakers Uncut, he asked me about, going after a center. Like, who should we go at the center? Well, to be honest with you, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Now, I'm not really a big fan of free agency. I'm just not. I mean, I come from the old cloth, where players, stay with their respective team until they retire. That's why when players leave teams, it kind of hurts me because I'm so used to watching players stay with their team. Like when Eddie Jones left, when he demanded a trade because every year his name was constantly talked about in the trade talks. So, Eddie Jones wound up leaving. I was hurt for that. I was hurt behind Eddie Jones because I love Eddie Jones' game, man. He had an all-around game. But I understood, we got Kobe was coming up, and we had a real young team, but we didn't have a veteran. Well, we did have a veteran coach in Dal Hurst, but Dal Hurst just wasn't the coach for them. Then Phil came, and Phil made some changes, bring some veterans in there, and actually, put the Lakers on the map. They were actually, if you look at the paperwork, according to what we had one of the best teams in the NBA. We just couldn't get over the hump until Phil came and made some changes. Now, when it comes to Brook Lopez, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Brook Lopez, in the right system can flourish offensively. Defensively, he can play defense when he wants to. That's the thing. Like, there's nobody really pushing Brook to play good defense. Like, Luke will probably tell him, like, yeah, we need him to play good defense, you know, if you play this and that. But my question is Luke, you know, getting on him about playing good defense? You know, is he being passive, or is he getting on him? Is he actually sitting there saying, like, look, you really need to play defense, man. You need to, come on. If you don't play defense, I'm going to bench you. I mean, is he doing anything to motivate this guy to play good defense? Because if you actually look at Brook Lopez stats with the Nets, you'll see that they're not that bad. Rebounding always been bad, but he can give you 8-9 rebounds if you demand him to give it to you. The game when they played against the recent game, what game was that? Not Dallas game, but the game before that. OKC. He had 9 boards, I believe. I think it was OKC. He had 9 boards. I think it was the most he ever had for a Laker. I'm telling you, he can get rebounds if he wants to, and he can score if he wants to. But it's Luke Walton's system. Luke Walton's system, they prefer him to shoot all those threes. And they really don't use him on the box a lot. He's not a bad person on the box. The biggest problem is that he shies away from contact. All that, you know, that freaking fadeaway jumping. You 7 feet tall and you shooting fadeaways over 6'7" guys. 6'7s. Like, why? That don't make any sense to me. Why shoot the fadeaway when you should just go straight up? Draw the foul, draw the contact, go to the free throw line. It helps. People fail to realize initializing contact help you get more points on the board. That's why people like Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, KD, and all them guys are averaging what they're averaging because and freaking James Harden, because they go through the free throw line a lot because they look for the initial contact. Even Lou Williams. But I put it like this. Me personally, I will have to watch DeMarcus Cousins, you know, and see how he comes back from this injury. And that all depends on how long this injury takes. You know what I mean? Because this can last for, you know, this can go either way. It could be the end of his career, and he could have he could become downside. Because here's the thing, with DeMarcus Cousins being injured like that, the only team that probably will give him a good amount of money right now at this point in time is the Pelicans. The Lakers can play their cards and give him basically not even the max because he's coming off an injury. He got to reprove himself. They can sign him to a 1-year contract and make him prove himself that he's worthy of a max contract. Remember, he's still young. So we don't have to rush to give him a big max contract. We can get DeMarcus Cousins a small contract and say, look, you know what I mean? But like I said, the only team that will give him that big contract is the Pelicans because, you know, they want to keep him. They the only ones to give it to him. But the Lakers, I will throw an offer out there. If the Pelicans can offer more, then I'll let the Pelicans go and run with it. I wouldn't put my money on it because we gotta monitor him to see what happens after the injury, to see if he's still capable of putting out the numbers he did. Because a lot of people don't come back for those type of injuries. So we have to monitor him. Now with Brook Lopez will be the last man on my podium before I think about re-signing him. There's not too many quality centers that's coming out this year. I mean, that's going to be free agents. I definitely will have to look at Thomas Bryant. If I do resign Brook Lopez will nowhere in the world get $22 million again this year. To be honest with you, Brook Lopez, I'll be giving him like $6-7 million, $8 million. Probably no more than 10, if that. He's still got offense. The defense is a problem. But here's the thing with Brook. I would give Brook, you know what I mean? Like I would let Brook test the market first to see if anybody throwing numbers at him. And if nobody throwing numbers at him, I would just give him a 5-year deal, a $5 million year deal. $5 million, 1-year deal. I would do that, and I would bring him off the bench. That's just me. Because what I really want to see is I want to see Thomas Bryant and Zubac actually get to play. I don't have no problem with Brook Lopez, but him coming back, he had to take a lesser deal. And like I said, he wouldn't be my first option. He wouldn't be my first option because at the end of the day, you need somebody to run that floor. I love to see now if you do bring Brook Lopez back because we couldn't get DeMarcus Cousins and there's nobody else out there, then yes, I'll bring him back, but I wouldn't bring him back for a lot because Thomas Bryant and Zubac, I would like to see at least one of those two get some rep. Like more likely, I would like to see Thomas Bryant. I probably will move Zubac. He's not bad, but I probably will move him. I'll keep him in the G League. Somewhere down the line, I have to find a way to either trade him or develop him. It's either one of the two. Now, they've been developing Zubac for the last couple of years. I don't see no improvement. I mean, even in the G League, I don't see no improvement. Like, he goes down there, and Thomas Bryant has a way better game than him. He'll probably have games, sparker games here and there. But I don't really see him having impact games constantly on a constant basis. Remember, the G League is like your AA basketball team. And those type of teams, he should be dominating. Last year, Zubla played much better than he did this year. This year, he's struggling. So, personally, I would basically bring Brook Lopez in only if DeMarcus Cousins injury takes effect and he's not the DeMarcus Cousins that we would see. And I would not challenge the Pelicans. If the Pelicans throw a lot of money at him, I'll just go ahead and let the Pelicans take him. But I will actually probably sign Brook Lopez to a 1-year deal and then go from there. I wouldn't sign nobody to a long-term contract. That's the same thing over IT. Now, going to IT. Now, I know a lot of Laker fans are hyped about him. Me, personally, I'm not. I'm off the hype trains. I'm done with the hype trains. I did it for the last 2 years. No more hype trains for me. All I want is production. And what I mean by that is I want to see wins. Listen, when fans tell me that the Lakers are rebuilding, I look at them and I laugh. And it's not to be disrespectful, but I laugh because here's the thing. If we were rebuilding or developing players, as many say, we're not going to the playoff. Magic Johnson and Pelinka, they both said two different things. Magic Johnson said that, I would like for us to go to the playoff. I really don't like where we're at right now. I know we can, and he said, I'd like for us to go to the playoff. I'm paraphrasing. He said, I would like for us to go to the playoff. I don't like where we're at right now. So I had to make some moves. And he stated that right now the Lakers are looking more towards the, 2000, the free agents this offseason. Now Pelinka came out and said on ESPN, he stated that we're right there at the 8th spot, so we're trying to push for that 8th spot. If we get there, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. But we really want to try to get that 8th spot. Now, here's my thing about that. All right, now IT, for example, and I don't want to beat up on IT. All right, don't want to beat up on them. My problem with IT is this. The Laker fans, they would sit there and basically forget about everything else. Let me make sure I get this right, because I want to make sure I hit this, so that way y'all can understand where I'm coming from. Now, let me make sure I set this straight. If we are rebuilding, if we are developing players, rebuilding, all that, mostly developing, as fans say, let's look at this for a second. If we're developing, then why are we not giving Thomas Bryant playing time? Why we're not giving Zubac playing time? Why are we giving veteran players more minutes than our young players, besides Ball and Brandon Ingram? KCP on many occasions has missed many. It played terrible. Still, I'm getting close to 30-something minutes. Brook Lopez, his minutes diminish only because of the style of basketball they play. And when he's playing good, he usually get a good 25, 27 minutes, which isn't bad, but he's still getting a lot of minutes. And then you look at IT. This is first game in there. He got like 30 minutes, and that's my thing right here I want to talk about. Magic Johnson stated, and this is my problem with Lakers media, period. If it's Lavar, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes, to Magic, you always letting your left hand know what your right hand is doing, and sometimes you put your foot in your mouth. I will never ever came out in media and said that IT is going to get we're going to get a lot of minutes, and we're going to slowly work them into the starting rotation. I would never said that. Because now it's your word, and what happened is now you playing him and Lonzo Ball together. And here's my thing. IT comes in, it's going to get 30 plus minutes. And the fan, like I said before, if this guy's going to be a dump, only he's going to be gone at the end of the season, or the Lakers might wind up sign up to a 1-year deal if nobody picks him up. The thing is this: if he's going to be a dump, why give him all the minutes? Why give him 30 minutes instead of just bringing him over here? Remember, we don't owe him anything. He's only here for 1 year. We don't have to say, oh well, we going to go ahead and do this and that. The main reason why Magic Johnson and Pelinka said, well, Magic Johnson really said what he said is because Isaiah Thomas was looking for a buyout. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Isaiah Thomas was looking for a buyout because it was like, okay, well, if you're not going to play me, let me go ahead and buy out now so I can get on a team that's going to give me the minutes. And that's why Magic Johnson said that we're going to give him as many minutes, give him a lot of minutes, and we're going to rotate him into the starting lineup. But keep this in mind. Okay, you have star quality players, and that's my thing about the Laker fan base, the brand, and the front office. We have so much doubt in our young players that we keep saying to ourselves, we need a superstar. We need a superstar. And we constantly do this over and over again, and it's starting to a point where where you acknowledge it, and it becomes frustration. Where every time we get somebody new, or every time we draft somebody, our previous drafts, we throw them to the side. We just forget all about them. Forget about that they're young, that each year they're getting better. We forget about that. Instead, we would try our best to constantly find something negative instead of promoting them. Now, I'm hard on Brandon Ingram all the time. But one thing I will do is I will support Brandon Ingram. And the reason why I support Brandon Ingram, because Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, Ball, and Julius Randle, to me, is the best product on that floor. I'm just being honest with you. And I tell fans over and over again, a lot of people, they like IT. Me personally, like I said, he's okay, but I don't like him as a starting point guard for the Lakers. He gives up too much on defense. Lew Walton loves the pick and roll quick switching. And he's real stubborn. And the thing about that is this: will Lew Walton change his strategy defensive wise in order to benefit IT? Because if he doesn't, you always gonna see IT down in the middle with a 7-footer trying to play defense. We don't give Brandon Ingram enough credit. Now, like I said, I'll be on Brandon Ingram all the time. And the reason why I'm on Brandon Ingram, because I want Brandon Ingram to do good. I know he can do good. And I've been saying it over and over again, Brandon Ingram needs to play in that backcourt. He needs to play the 2. Because by him playing the 2, you seen what happened when he played the point. Can't nobody freaking guard him. Those games where he started at the point, even though we lost to Dallas, but those games where he started at the point, look at his numbers. He can score at will when he wants to. And that's what I'm trying to tell fans. They talk about, IT, he averaged 28 points. That's because he took 20 shots attempts. Let me share something with you guys. Brandon Ingram right now is taking anywhere between 14 to 15 shots attempts each game. He goes to the free throw line probably like anywhere from 3 to 5 times a game. If Brandon Ingram would take 20 shots a game and be able to clip at least 80% of his free throws, this dude easily could average 22, 24 points with no problem on a good field goal percentage. You're starting to see his three-pointers starting to drop. But the fan base, we so focused on IT. IT's 29 years old. You're going to have guys in the NBA gliding over him, dunking over him. Listen, I don't knock the young man game. And like I say, I know a lot of fans who want to disagree with me. But we have to change around our whole strategy just to benefit IT now when it comes to defense. We don't have that defensive interior guy in the paint. It was showed against the Dallas Mavericks. We don't have that. And because we don't have that, we got to make changes now. So now, do we bring up Thomas Bryant in order to help out Brook Lopez? Because now Julius Randle is getting a lot more minutes. And it's starting to wear him down. Like I said before, I do not like Julius at the center spot. Julius played the center. You notice when he played the center, his rebounding goes down. Plays power forward, he plays like a man possessed. So no, but that's my only thing about that is this. About fans, if we're developing players, then why Thomas Bryant ain't playing? We're not developing players. We really want to get to the playoff. Stop fooling yourself. And that leads me to my last situation, going back to what I said about Magic, letting his left hand know what his right hand does. The same thing that is also said about Magic also need to be said about Lavar Ball. Now I know that, like I said, Dan, a Laker fan, and Lake should have already probably talked about this because I seen it. Both of them popped up in my feed, and I'm gonna look at their video after I finish dropping mine. But here's the thing: I'm not gonna talk too much about Lavar Ball because here's the thing: if you give LeBron energy, he becomes a Super Saiyan, and he reaches the degrees that you cannot. He become a god. You can't do nothing against him. This is the main reason why ESPN will fly all the way down Lithuania, Pakistan, Elgato, wherever he's at. On the freaking Mars with freaking Martians. They will find this man and just dig up some controversy. Why? Because controversy sells. And they know LeVar Ball talks a lot from the butt cheek. I love his business aspect. They just went down there and put some shares and some water down there. This dude gonna probably be a billionaire in a couple years. I'll be honest with you, he might be a billionaire because over there in Lithuania and all that, man, the money over there is way different than money over here. And they gonna make some money. Now the statement that he said about if Lonzo Ball, if the Lakers don't take his other two sons, when Lonzo Ball his rookie contract is up, that they're gonna take their business elsewhere. Two things I say for this. Number one, he's full of crap. Me personally, I know Lavar talks a lot of trash, but sometimes he just do that. It's like a scare tactic to see if it's really going to stick. Ain't nobody paying attention to him, man, because at the end of the day, ain't no other team is going to put up with that bull crap. He's going to stay right here where he's at, because like he stated, and I'm going to make sure y'all hear this. He said that if his middle son doesn't get picked up in the draft, he's going back over there to play another year with the youngest son. See what I'm saying? Because he knows ain't nobody going to pick him up. So, and here's the thing. That big baller brand is based off them guys being in the NBA and being pretty good. So right now, in these couple years, if Lonzo don't get the only way Lonzo can make noise like that, the only way that's going to happen if Lonzo averaging 18 points, 10 assists, 9 boards or 7 boards, and the Lakers are in and out the playoffs. That's the only way he can make rank like that. Other than that, not going to happen. Magic Johnson are not going to fall for that. You know what I mean? But let me put it like this. Then again, I don't know. Magic Johnson, Lavar, they be taught. They do a lot of off the mic talking too. But a lot of things that Lavar says, I take it with a can of salt. He just talks like it's just like when he said that I can beat Michael Jordan. Did we believe him? No, we ain't believe him. He just talked trash. So I don't feed in too much of what Lavar say on the when it's coming about on the court situation. But off the court, I respect his entrepreneurship, his business aspect of things, because he knows publicity sells. You didn't hear Lavar in a couple months. Okay, Lavar got to stay substance. It's like Cat Williams. Cat Williams went out, got a little kid, beat him up. He needed something had something to talk about on his at his comedy. If he didn't have nothing to talk about, he needed material. So he knew that only way material sells through social media. Social media is the biggest thing right now. Social media keep people relevant. If I'm not talking about you, you're not relevant. So I got to talk about you, or I got to advertise myself to keep myself relevant. And that's all it is. He's just talking. He knows ain't nobody going to pick up him and his 3 sons. All the money is in LA for them. That's where they're getting all their money at right now. Besides the award and everything, but everything started in LA for them. Ain't nobody else in the NBA is going to put up with that drama. Nobody else. The only one to put up that drama is Magic Johnson. So he just talking out his boot cheeks. So I don't even pay that no mind. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Hey, it's your man Urban Lover. Like, share, and subscribe. Get in the comment section, tell me what you think about these topics. Love you guys. Have a blessed night.